What tax changes are happening in your state for 2023? The Tax Foundation tells us. So let's dive into it, shall we? We got the four here, the four amigos, right? Three amigos, four amigos, the four tops, the spinners. What are they called? Four tops. Most state. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to Doobly Duke in terms of my email list, and then follow me on Locals. We go live every 4 p.m. on Locals Eastern Time. Every 4 p.m. Friday, that is. Every 4 p.m. Friday, live on Locals Eastern Time. Once I get a certain amount of paid subscribers, I can go for longer. But until I get a certain amount of paid, I think it's like $5 a month, dude. Just friggin' pay, man. Pay $5 a month. You can comment. You can add stuff to the channel, the whole thing. $5 a month, dude. Locals. You know, don't be a hater. Be an alligator. All right. On January 1st, 38 states have noteworthy tax changes. Most of these changes represent net tax reductions, the result of an unprecedented wave of rate reduction. That's good. And other tax cuts in the past 2 years as states respond to burgeoning revenues. What? Greater tax competition, Arizona, in an era of enhanced mobility. Individual income tax changes. We got 11 states have individual income tax reductions, including, did I see Massachusetts in here? No, I wasn't here. Massachusetts has an income tax increase taking effect. Its income will convert from a flat to a graduated with a new rate of 9% of income exceeding $1 million. All that's going to do is get people to drive to New Hampshire, man. Ooh, so you know what that means? Property values in New Hampshire will be coming up. I should do another video on that. See that a mile away. Huh. Maine too. Let's see what the tax rates are in Maine and New Hampshire. New Hampshire's tax-free. A few years ago, Maine tried to raise the top tax bracket, make it $250 to like some insane amount. I think that got nixed in the Supreme Court. Anyway, so Arizona, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New York, and North Carolina will have tax reductions at some point. 3, Arizona, Idaho, and Mississippi are going to a flat tax structure. 5 states are newly exempting all or portion of retirement income or military pension from their taxation. That's good. Hawaii and Illinois will expand their earned income tax credits. Yeah, corporate tax and other business tax changes. 5 states have corporate income tax reductions taking effect. Arkansas, Iowa, Nebraska, New Hampshire, and Pennsylvania. 1 state will offer permanent 100% bonus depreciation despite the federal government's phase down to 80%. And then Vermont will repeal its throwback rule. I don't know what that is. All right, sales and use tax. Okay, so Virginia will newly exempt groceries from a state sales tax base. Sweet. Kansas will begin phasing in a state sales tax exemption for groceries as well. Several states will implement other notable new sales tax exemptions. All right. Colorado and Iowa will exempt diapers and menstrual products. Good. So I'm going to claim as a woman, and I'll get menstrual products for tax exempt. Oh, boy. Kentucky will newly apply its sales tax to select services to help pay for individual income tax rate reductions. I'd rather have income tax and no sales tax, frankly. That's more equitable. Missouri has a sales tax economics nexus statute taking effect. All right, we'll see. Other changes, let's see here. These and other tax changes effective January 1st are detailed below. In addition, notable tax changes, many states have routine or less notable changes effect that are not mentioned here. These include but annual adjustments to the income tax standard deduction and personal exemptions, the equivalent of a tax cut. Automatic formula-based changes to unemployment insurance, changes in interest rates on taxes owed. All right. So let's see what we got. We're going to start in Alabama. Should I break this out to individual? Nah, we'll do. Alabama's business privilege. I'm going to go through. I'm going to pause this and read each of these and see what ones I want to report. It's good. Alabama, starting in 2023, Alabama will exempt the first $6,000 of taxable retirement income for those 65 and older. So you and your better half each get $6,000 of retirement income tax-free, tax-exempt, I should say. It's tax-free. That's good. That's $12,000 of IRA distributions. All right, let's see what Alaska's got. All right, so Alaska didn't have much. Arizona will be joining a growing list of states with flat tax. All right, begin the process consolidating the income tax brackets. 2.5% flat tax phase in. All right. Since Arizona reached the final revenue target sooner than anticipated, the rate schedule will convert directly from a two bracket structure to a flat rate of 2.5. All right, without the need for another year of two rate. So that's a big change from the law they passed. That was a referendum that hit a huge tax rate for high income earners. That's huge, man. Arizona will have a flat tax of 2.5%. I mean, that's just look. I don't like big tax hikes, but the citizens voted for it, and now they got. I guess that also got nixed in the Supreme Court. I guess, and now it's a 2.5% tax hike, a tax increase. I should now a flat tax off of what the voters voted. I don't know if I mean, look, it is what it is. I don't like how the courts could just what you guys voted for no good, especially when it comes to income taxes. The voters should have a say in that. All right. So furthermore, yeah, that's odd to me. Alliance income tax rate for pass-throughs elected pass-through be an S corp LLC elected to be taxed at the entity level with individual income tax rate. Okay. Yeah, I don't. That's I must. Arkansas just lowered their income tax, the top marginal rate from 5.5 to 4.9. The top marginal income tax rate for corporations went from 5.9 to 5.3. California's nuts, so who cares? Colorado, who cares? Connecticut gas tax holiday expires. So the state plans into a tax hike, 25-cent gas tax at 5 cents per month. That's fantastic on a gas tax. There you go. So Connecticut, just could you drive people out more? Delaware increases military pension exclusion to $12,500 for military retirees under the age of 60. That's good. Florida tax because they don't have an income tax. Here's my state of Georgia. Standard deduction will increase by $8,000 for by $1,100 for joint filers and $800 for single filers. All right, Hawaii income tax credit expanded. Idaho will move to a flat rate at a flat 5.8%, down from the current marginal rate of 6. All right. As this law was designed in part to supersede a tax increase that was approved at the ballot but waited withdrawn. Okay. Let's see, Illinois. Illinois is going to have an inflation adjustment gas tax, so you'll be paying a tax hike there. Indiana's individual flat rate will be reduced to 3.15 and all the way down to 2.9 by 2029 if specified conditions are met. $3,000 mortgage deduction will be repealed, while the property tax homestead deduction will increase by $3,000, allowing taxpayers to deduct the lesser. Okay, so that's good. I mean, I'd much rather have a homestead deduction as opposed to mortgage interest deduction, because that way people who don't have a mortgage get the benefits as well. Indiana's phasing out its add back wagering tax. Okay, Iowa enacted comprehensive reforms in 2018, 2021, and 2022. Most reforms will continue phasing in this year. Iowa's top tax rate will be reduced from 8.53 to 6. Wow, that's a big drop. Graduate tax rate is scheduled to shift to a flat tax at a rate of 3.9. Wow, so they're really cutting taxes. Iowa going from 8.53, the top tax rate, to 3.9. I need to move to Iowa. Additionally, its 3-bracket corporate tax will be consolidated to 2. Both are lower. The individual alternative minimum tax will be at 6% and be phased down over time. Standard deduction and state deduction for federal taxes will be repealed, broadening the base to help pay for reductions of the rate. Yeah, see, reducing the top rates by repealing the standard deduction. It seems to me that's a regressive tax. They're beginning to phase out its inheritance tax by 2025. That's good. Kansas will begin to apply a preferential sales tax on groceries. All right. State sales tax on groceries is scheduled to phase down to 4% and 2% before going to 0 in 2025. The general sales tax will remain at 6.5%. All right. Kentucky reducing individual tax rates while broadening the sales tax base. Yeah, that's what they do. Everyone on the right is like, we got to reduce income tax. Idiots, fools, man. The income tax isn't it's a sales tax, man. A sales and property tax. Dumb. Republicans are dumb. The income tax. The law also established tax triggers that, contingent upon revenue meeting certain benchmark, could phase down the individual income tax rate to 0 over many years. All right, with a likely reduction of 4% in 2024. Yeah, Kentucky's pretty tax favorable, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Furthermore, electric and hybrid vehicles will be subject to new registration and renewal fees. Oh, good. About damn time. Louisiana corporate franchise tax will drop. Maine. All right, what's going on in the great state of Maine? The state tax exemption for residential electricity will be expanded for eligible customers. Low-income housing, that's pretty much it. All right, the current, okay. Maryland, temporary, include the refundable EITC. I don't care. Massachusetts, legislative to modify the state's constitution to add a 4% surtax to the current 5% individual tax rate for annual income above $1 million on top of an estate tax. Yikes. Michigan will increase its gas tax. Thank half-wit. Such a freaking clown show. Mississippi will go to a flat income tax. The current 4% of taxable income will be eliminated. All right, leaving a single rate of 5% on income exceeding $10,000. So you got a $10,000 standard deduction. Anything after that is subject to 5% tax rate. Missouri's kicking butts. You see there is a, other than New Hampshire, there is this dividing line, man, of the I don't know, north-south essentially. That's crazy. I mean, you got some states, South Dakota, whatnot, but a lot of these states in the north are just hammering people. In the south, they're just not. It's an incredible thing here where you can see just like it's not favorable, it's favorable. It's nuts. Estate tax, inheritance tax, income tax, sales tax, property tax, crazy. Missouri, individual income tax rates replace existing tax triggers. Missouri's top marginal tax rate will be reduced to 4.95%, and the amount that is exempt from individual tax will be increased to $1,000. All right, sales tax. Nebraska enacted several tax reforms that will take place, reduce both its top marginal rate and its top marginal corporate rate, but not reduce it much though. But check this out. Tax in 2022. 2023, taxpayers may deduct 60% of Social Security tax benefits that are included in AGI, up from 40%. So that's good. So now you get 60% of your taxable Social Security benefits that are now not taxed in Nebraska. Nebraska reducing inheritance tax. Hey, what do you know? Including immediate relatives, remote relatives, and non-relatives by reducing rates and increasing exemptions. That's fantastic. Ooh, New Hampshire. We'll begin phasing out income tax on interest and dividends. We've known that for a while. All right, New Jersey's not doing anything. All right, who cares? New York. Additionally, New York is set to resume collections of motor fuels excise tax. Oh, wait, I missed this. Let's see. Under rate reductions in 2025 will affect 2 years earlier than planned, bring the top rate on income between $13,900 and $80,000 to 5.5%, and bringing the rate on income above that to 6%. All right. So for tax year, the tax rates on those looks is that a reductions originally passed. So basically, if you're in a middle class taxpayer, it looks like you're going to have a reduction in your income tax in New York. That's good. New York's flat individual tax rate will decrease to 4.75. All right. North Carolina. Future scheduled reductions ultimately bring it down 3.99 in 2027. Simplifies the franchise tax. Gas tax will be adjusted to 40 cents per gallon from 38.5 for inflation. Let's see. Okay, PPP loans in there. With the enactment of Oklahoma becomes the first state to make permanent 100% bonus depreciation. That's for business owners. All right. Pennsylvania. Nothing on their inheritance tax. Nope, I don't see anything on getting rid of the inheritance tax. All right. Rhode Island tax. Rhode Island's actually a little bit better than you would think, frankly. Taxpayers will be allowed to subtract any military service pension benefits, including in federal government AGI, when calculating their income for Rhode Island income tax purpose. Hear that? So if you're a military pensioner, you can subtract that from your taxable income in Rhode Island. As long as that's included in your federal AGI. Separately, you may be able to exclude up to $20,000 of your federally taxable retirement income, including from pensions, annuities, and 401ks, up from $15,000 in 2022. That's fantastic. All right. South Dakota property tax assessment limit that freezes property assessments for people who are 65 and older. All right. Utah's knuckleheads. Looks like what they're doing. They're increasing the gas tax. Vermont throwback rule, I don't even know what that is, will be repealed. At the same time, the state is expanding its corporate alternative minimum tax. Virginia's crushing. 1.5% sales tax is going kabush. I guess good, or kibosh, nix. However, the 1% local state sales tax will continue to apply. Service members age 55 and older will be eligible to subtract up to $20,000 in military benefits when calculating taxable income, up from $10,000 in 2022. It'll go to $40,000 in 2025. So if you're in Virginia, you got a pension, you can write off $40,000 from your Commonwealth of Virginia tax. That's fantastic. Washington residents may see price increases resulting from an increase in the state's carbon emissions. Freaking idiots. Idiots. The maximum tax credit for business and occupation will increase. Qualifying transfers of real property to be used for low-income housing will be exempt from the real estate excise tax. In Wisconsin, will conform to the federal net capital loss deduction. All right. Up to $3,000. All right, so there you go. So in Wisconsin, you'll be right off $3,000 in capital losses, where before it's $500. Rhode Island looks pretty good. A couple good ones, a couple surprising ones there. Rhode Island was good. I like that. And then Nebraska, a couple good ones. I think you'll like what you see. So I'll put a link in the show notes. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. We'll see you.